of the CME Group here in Chicago. Friday, January 13th. A little spooky down here, folks. Let's get into the zone, the CMZ zone. I'm Killer, and I'm with Evan McDaniel. Thanks for coming by today.
Yep.
A lot of moving parts, folks. We're seeing this downgrade. You know, we've obviously felt this inevitable downgrade of these sovereign debts, and now we're actually seeing it come to fruition. But no doubt about it, we have seen a sensational rally since that November 25th, about a 13% move in the S&P. What are your thoughts, and where's this market going right now?
Obviously, we're resilient, you know. Has equities dropped the anchor of the euro? It looks like they have, you know. Euro keeps going lower and making lows. We had a little bounce yesterday, but once again, you know, the euro gave up about 2 days of gains in about 15 minutes this morning, and then that took equities with it. So you can see that there is still a little bit of a correlation, but, you know, as long as I think we stay above 1280 in the cash, you know, the market could be along up until 1300 because it seems like that's what it wants.
Sure.
Despite what's going on in the Eurozone.
And we've seen this euro, you know, trade a little crowded. We saw that relief kind of shorts. People were concerned about the ECB decision that came out yesterday, so it did rally, presented a nice opportunity to sell it. Now we're seeing it down, you know, 126 handle, looking to violate that 125. I think people reevaluate that 125, but a lot of people are talking about parity right now. And more importantly, you know, we're looking at the treasury market as a continued grab of treasuries. You know, we're seeing that long bond up 1.5 today, that 10 years hunkered down about 185. So as we see a continued grab for treasuries, are we going to see this S&P come off, or is it going to hang out up here? Because if it, you know, today in the market, if this stays above 1280, that's pretty bullish for equities, folks.
Very, very bullish. And you see the dollar pushing up as well. We're up at you know, almost 2-year highs with the dollar. You know, if we get up to 82, you know, you would think that the S&Ps would be down near 1150, but they're not. And that you got to take it for what it is. If we're going to keep melting higher, you might as well stay with the trend. And you know, I still think there's a de-risking. People are running to the dollar, but it's obviously equities are not paying attention to past correlation.
Certainly, and I think one thing you have to take into your trading, you know, prior to this January 24th Fed meeting, this QE3. We've talked about QE3 here in the CMZ for quite some time, folks, and now we're trying to analyze the quantitative easing across the pond. And as we see this kind of come to fruition here, look at the bond buyers of the sovereign debt this week. They just changed the rules, essentially. So I know we're trying to still get our finger on the pulse over there in Europe, but what are your thoughts? I know Greece is such a small amount, but that is acting as a template. Are there going to be more movements over there? Are we going to see some knee-jerk reactions and continued gyrations in that European market?
I definitely think we're going to see gyrations. I think, you know, Greece is the example, and it's going to lead by examples. I think other countries are obviously going to create volatility. The euro is going to chop around. Maybe equities have just said, U.S. equities have said, it doesn't matter what goes on there right now, and until something is finite there, I think we might see divergence. But if it does converge, it could be very violent.
All right.
Equities coming in to the euro.
All right, well, one other thing for the Stock Monster folks out there in Wesley Har, can you give the Stock Monster folks something?
Yeah, we're looking at Exelon Energy. It's put in a new low, and we're looking at it on the lows, and we're also looking at Diamond Offshore. The chart's about to break out. It looks good right here, and a lot of the drillers, I think look good around this area.
All right, Evan. Well, thanks for coming on. At Sell Puts again on the Twitter account. I know a lot of you follow him. You should. Some great insight. And one other thing on this January 13th, Friday 13th. I know it's a little spooky down here, but you still have to remember to be the hammer
and not the nail.
Baby girl, I think we need to sit and talk, playing with my money, paper, scissors, rock, going up my heart and stick a pin and pop.